And this week's focus is concentration. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet together, stand up nice and tall. We're going to separate and open our toes so that you're in a natural first position, and then open the heels to match, and that should line us up with our feet underneath our hips, hip distance apart. And again, starting exactly like we did last week, so thinking about the weight being evenly distributed like a triangle on your toes, so your big toe, your little toe, and the middle of your heel. You're going to think about the alignment of your legs, stepping those knees up and then into your hips. Oh, Amy is joining us. And placing one hand at the front and one hand at the back. You're going to think about your pelvis and your pelvic alignment. So tilting forwards, first of all, and backwards. So thinking about that pelvis being like a bucket of water. So as you tilt it forwards, your water's going to pour out at the front. And as you tilt it backwards, the water will pour out at the back. And we're looking for a neutral position where you've got a nice level bucket of water. Keeping those hands there, we're going to think about that core engagement. So you're thinking about this front hand being pulled to the back hand. Now, first of all, do it to your maximum. Pull it in like you have the tightest belt on or the tightest corset. And then release it completely. And then this time, pull it into about halfway and maybe release it a little bit more. And that's what we're kind of aiming for, about 30 to 40% for most of class. Relaxing those arms by your shoulders now. So feeling those shoulders pull away. So you're not pulling them totally back, you're just pulling them away and allowing that neck to be really long. And that golden thread pulling from the top of your head. So I know we've talked about the weight through our feet, but we're now going to slightly adjust that and take it into a rise. So you're lifting the heels, trying to keep the legs and ankles in alignment and lowering it down. So the theme tonight, Amy, we're thinking about concentration. We're thinking about completely being in the moment with these exercises and seeing if that focus can make you feel things in a different way or think about exercises in a different way to normal. One more rise and lower. Then we're going to take arm floats, bringing our arm up in front of us. So floating that arm up, trying not to take that shoulder out of alignment. And then as that one comes down, you're going to lift the other one up. So taking it nice and slow, imagining that you're in a pool of water. You're completely submerged in water. So you have to push a little bit to move through the flow of the water. Try and focus still on that core engagement being there. Thinking about the posture, nice and long through the spine. You're going to bring those two movements together. So rising up and lowering. And those arms are moving through the floats as you rise and lower. Focusing those shoulders staying dropped, showing off your lovely dangly earrings. Twice more. And then keeping those feet as they are, we're going to bring our arms up into second position. Pulling those shoulders down, not back too much, just down. So you've still got that neutral spine. We're going to do 10 circles in one direction. So I'm moving forward first. 1, 8, 7, 6, 5. So it's not fast. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse 10, 9, 8. Pushing outwards. So feeling those arms as long as possible. 3, 2, 1. Repeat. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing those arms by your sides. So I'd like you to now take your right hand on your right leg. And you are going to send your foot out in front of you. I'm just going to move back a little bit so you can see. Send your foot out in front of you so that the top of your foot is facing forward. And then we're going to work from turn in into turn out. So you're going to feel your hand moving. So you want to feel the top of your thigh moving in your hip socket. So you're going to turn it out and turn it back in. Turn it out, turn it back in. Not your foot, just your leg. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to lower the screen, the camera, so you can see that a little bit better. So we're going to switch over on the other leg. So the top of my foot is facing up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to change it. 1, and 2, and 3. It's your whole leg moving. 4, and 5. Switch it over, back to the other foot. So out, out, good. 4, and 5. I've got the hand placed on the leg to try and help you feel it a little bit more. So you've got out. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing those legs back. And we are going to do, last thing we're going to do standing, again, I'm going to come forward a little bit so you can see this. We're going to do a little Mexican wave with our toes. So starting with your big toe, this is hard. I find it really difficult to do, but we're going to try. And you're lifting up through the big toe, round to the little toe. So up and round. Trying to isolate your toes if you can. Now, for some of us, this is going to be harder than others, but all I'm trying to get you to do is to move those toes a little bit. You might find that you are rocking in a little bit and pulling it out. That's fine. Don't go too much in so that you are rolling on the feet, but just trying to move through those toes and then shaking them off. And we are going to bring ourselves to the top of your mat. We're going to do 2 roll down and back ups, and then 2 rolling down into walkout and back up. So doing it with me. Inhaling at the top, exhaling, tucking that chin, but not too much. Sending your fingertips as close to the floor as possible, and then stacking that body all the way back up. And again. This time you're going to roll it down and walk it out, then roll it back up. So roll it down, a little bend in the knees, walk those hands forwards, try and get into your plank, and then bend in the knees and bring it all the way back up again. 1 more of those, and then we're going to hold it. Taking it into your plank. And then you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, and we're going to take it into a downward dog. So you might need to adjust those hands just a little bit. So that downward dog, you're aiming for a straight spine from your head to your coccyx, which might mean that you need to bend the legs a little bit. That's absolutely fine. I can't get my heels on the ground. That's absolutely fine too. Staying in that downward dog, we're going to lift and lower one leg. So lift and then bring it back down. Same leg again. And lowering it back down. 3. Bringing it back down. And 2. And last one on this leg, and then we're going to swap it over to the other side. So lifting through, trying to keep that spine as straight as you can. 5. 4. 3. 2 more. And then staying in that downward dog. This time you're going to float the knee to your nose. So floating your knee to nose and then bringing it back out. Knee to nose. Same leg. And out. 3. Taking it out. 2. And last one. Switching over onto the other leg. Knee to nose. Taking it out. Knee to nose. Good. 3 more. 2. And 1. Back to downward dog, lowering the knees and then taking your hips back to your feet into a child's pose, either with knees together or knees separated, and lowering that head down onto the spine. No, not onto the spine, onto the floor. Now this is a good moment to just sink into the floor, allow some deep breaths. You might want to move into your hips a little bit if you're feeling uncomfortable. You might want to move those shoulders around. So it might feel better to creep those fingers forward, or you might want to bring those arms by your side and allow the shoulders to open up into the upper back. You choose which position feels best for you right now, however your body is. Ask yourself a couple of questions. Am I truly concentrating on these exercises? Is my core engaged throughout class?